who left us too soon. At the ripe age of 25 or 22, she had big plans for her future. Now life as she knew it is over. Some may describe their friends as a warm presence that would light up a room, but Nicole is best described as someone who went through an awkward phase, and unlike puberty, never outgrew it. And while she gossiped about most of you behind your back, she would still appreciate that you were here to pay your respects. Okay, so I'm clearly not dead. I guess I'll just rip the Band-Aid off. Hi, I'm Nicole, and 12 years ago I was diagnosed with lupus. If you don't know what that is okay. Lupus, our WebMD defines lupus as an autoimmune disease where the body attacks healthy tissue. In layman's terms, it's like your body is sentencing you to a lifetime of debilitating pain for a crime you didn't commit. Now, if you're wondering why would I start my story this way, no, it is not just to be dramatic. Anyone who goes through a diagnosis understands that this is what it feels like. My story begins with loss. Some days when I look back on photos of myself before lupus, like this, there she is. I hate her. She is mocking me, taunting me with a smile that I don't recognize anymore. She is so full of hope, plans, and dreams. She is taking all those little things for granted because she doesn't know. She doesn't understand how broken a body can become when it forgets how to heal. Most days, I miss her. She was suddenly gone and I was left with this new defective body that no longer felt like mine. Instead of hopes, plans, and dreams, my life became about survival, managing expectations, and mandatory self-care. I had to adjust to the new normal, which I quickly learned is that I never feel normal, which the worst part of having lupus is the inconsistency. What sick cosmic joke is it to give a people-pleasing, control freak who can't even eat a bag of Skittles without color coding them, the most unreliable illness in the world? Another thing I had to get used to was the talk. Every time I have to tell someone new about lupus, it's like a mixed bag of dicks. I don't know why there's this universal phenomenon where when people try to say something helpful, they inevitably say the worst thing possible. When you have an invisible disability, most days I can choose to disguise my deformity, and honestly, that's what most people want me to do. They just don't get it. When I try to be transparent, I am breaking status quo, and that makes people uncomfortable, so it gives them permission to question it. So actually, the worst part of having lupus is the skepticism. My pain has to be palpable to be worthy of your pity. Well, guess what? I don't want your pity. My pain is plenty real. I want compassion. I want to live in a world where the places where it is safe to be sick are not so few and far between. But most days, it is more convenient for everyone if I just keep pretending to be well. When I was growing up, my mother told me the worst part of being a woman is that we are too much and not enough. We are never just right. She called it the Goldilocks paradox. The worst part of having lupus is that you either have to be invisible or inspirational, because chronic illness is only respected when you are fighting. You can rest, but not too much, because the moment you actually slow down, rest, or cancel, or make it pain into anything less than admirable, the support gets quiet. If you talk about your illness too much, you want attention. If you don't talk about it enough, you're healed. To shrink your pain so it doesn't look uncomfortable, to shrink your anger so it doesn't look aggressive, to shrink. Yes. Always be smaller, so you can fit inside your shrinking world, because most people don't know how to love someone who is always tired. Growing up, I wanted to be like Goldilocks and find my place that is just right. But she is a girl in a fairy tale, and a woman is a person, not a paradox. Truthfully, the worst part of having lupus is the fear. I hide all of it, the pain, exhaustion, depression. I keep it hidden from everyone else, but the fear, I hide from myself. Because if I really admitted how scared I am all the time, I would never get out of bed. I know it's dumb, but there are moments where I wonder if I'm dying. Obviously, I've never died before, so when it's really bad, I think this has to be it, right? But it's not. I'm still here, and it still hurts. I'm scared every time I get a new symptom, and I wonder if this is temporary or is this just the new normal? Is more of my independence being ripped away? And when I sit in doctor's office, I nod and smile, but I'm terrified. Are they going to believe me, or are they going to pass me off to the next specialist who's going to tell me that this is normal? And I'm scared that that's true. I'm scared that there's no hope for it together, not even just for myself, but for millions of others who are going through the same hell as me. My therapist gave me an exercise where they asked me to write down everything I've lost because of lupus. It was humbling. Not because of how long it was, but that it was endless. The list will keep growing because lupus will continue to take and take and take. Some days, I miss her. I miss the girl in the photos before pain moved into her body and never left. But most days, I grieve the woman I never got to be. I mourn the loss of my stolen future. But the best part of having lupus and being a lupus survivor is that it gave me strength that I never knew I had. My new dream is that one day I will say that I had lupus. That I will witness not just the end of my suffering, but millions of others. For now, I share my story with the hope that it will create a kinder world. Would I say my pain was worth it if it helped just one person? So, I know the right answer is yes. But it would feel so much better if it were more like 10, 20, how many people fit in this room? Anyway, I'm writing to tell not just my story, but to make space for others to tell theirs. My pain on the page becomes visible, and maybe in that visibility, someone else will feel less alone. Thank you.